Welcome back to the ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel. Today, we will learn about the explosive tensions brewing in Port Charles as the week unfolds with shocking revelations and hidden agendas that could shatter alliances forever. As the dust settles from recent chaos in Port Charles, Tuesday's episode on October 14th promises to ramp up the suspense with Sonny Corinthos spotting glaring warning signs in a brewing storm. The mob kingpin, known for his razor-sharp instincts honed over decades of navigating the underworld, finds himself on edge as subtle clues emerge that something sinister is afoot. Perhaps it's a whispered tip from a shady informant or an unexpected alliance forming in the shadows. Sonny's world is one where trust is a luxury he rarely affords, and these red flags could point to betrayal from within his own circle, forcing him to question loyalties he's long taken for granted. Fans have speculated that this heightened vigilance might tie into larger power struggles, potentially escalating into a full-blown turf war if not handled with his signature calculated ruthlessness. Meanwhile, across town, Trina Robinson is gripped by a mounting fear that threatens to upend her life, her mind racing with visions of danger closing in on her family. In a tense preview clip, Trina confronts Kai Taylor with a fierce warning, her voice laced with desperation as she demands he steer clear of targeting her parents, Portia and Marcus. This isn't just idle worrying. Trina's intuition, sharpened by her own brushes with peril, senses that Kai's impulsive nature could drag her loved ones into a deadly crossfire, especially if his probing uncovers buried secrets from the Robinson family's past. Their joint investigation into the mysterious shooting of Drew Kane adds fuel to the fire. Imagine the duo sneaking through dimly lit alleys or hacking into confidential files, piecing together timelines that implicate high-profile figures. Kai might float the risky idea of grilling Drew directly for insider details, but Trina's response is immediate panic. Any suspicion falling on her parents could unravel their fragile stability, exposing vulnerabilities like old rivalries or unresolved grudges that Port Charles never truly forgets. This subplot delves deeper into Trina's character evolution, showcasing her transition from wide-eyed artist to fierce protector, while hinting at Kai's own murky backstory, perhaps a hidden vendetta that mirrors the very threats he's unleashing. Shifting focus to the heartfelt realm of family and romance, Portia Robinson and her husband Curtis Ashford share a pivotal conversation that could redefine their turbulent marriage. In a poignant moment captured from the October 13th teaser, Curtis, his eyes filled with a mix of regret and hope, suggests they pause their impending divorce proceedings, advocating for a chance to rebuild what they've nearly lost. This plea, coming from a place of mere sentiment, Curtis has always been the steady anchor in Portia's stormy life, and his words carry the weight of shared history from courtroom dramas to life-saving interventions that has bound them despite the cracks. But lurking beneath the surface is Portia's closely guarded secret, her unexpected pregnancy, a joyful yet terrifying development that complicates everything. The chief of staff at General Hospital has agonized over this revelation, fearing that Curtis's persistence might stem from intuition or overheard whispers, potentially trapping her in a web of obligation rather than genuine reconciliation. What if this child represents not just a new beginning, but a catalyst for confronting deeper issues, like trust erosion from past deceptions or the pressures of their high-stakes professions? Their dialogue unfolds in the cozy confines of their home, surrounded by mementos of better days, emphasizing how personal vulnerabilities intersect with the town's relentless drama, and setting the stage for emotional reckonings that could either heal old wounds or tear them further apart. On the flip side of caution lies outright suspicion, as Sonny Corinthos tunes into an unsettling vibe during a charged exchange with his son Michael. The preview for Monday's episode shows the duo in a dimly lit corner of the Corinthos empire, where Sonny, ever the perceptive patriarch, presses Michael on whether he's holding back crucial information about Drew Kane's shooting. This isn't casual father-son banter. Sonny's probing gaze pierces through Michael's composed facade, detecting the unnatural serenity that belies the gravity of the situation. Michael, positioned as a prime suspect in the eyes of many viewers, to his tangled web of motives from corporate rivalries to personal vendettas maintains an almost eerie calm, perhaps masking a calculated strategy or an alibi forged in secrecy. Fans can't help but wonder if Michael's poise stems from insider knowledge, like a fabricated timeline or a silent pact with an unlikely ally, which Sonny's street-honed radar is quick to flag as off-kilter. This interaction highlights the Corinthos family's enduring theme of fractured trust, where blood ties clash with ambition, potentially foreshadowing explosive confrontation that ripples through the Quartermaine and beyond, testing Sonny's role as both protector and enforcer. In the sterile quiet of General Hospital's recovery ward, Drew Kane and Willow Tate engage in a candid heart-to-heart that uncovers layers of manipulation surrounding Willow's desperate bid for family reconnection. As Drew recuperates from his ordeal, he cautions Willow against Michael's abrupt policy shift allowing her access to their children, Wiley and Amelia, framing it as a cleverly laid snare designed to exploit her vulnerabilities. Drew's perspective, informed by his military background and recent betrayals, paints Michael as a master tactician whose generosity reeks of ulterior motives, may be leveraging Willow's emotional state to extract favors or silence her on sensitive matters. Yet Willow, her maternal instincts overriding logic, clings to the opportunity with a mix of hope and defiance, willing to navigate the risks for even fleeting moments with her little ones, whose innocent faces haunt her dreams. This scene, set against the beeping monitors and flickering fluorescent lights, amplifies Willow's internal conflict, the pull of redemption versus the peril of entrapment, adding psychological depth to her arc as she grapples with the consequences of past choices in a town where forgiveness is often just another weapon. Inventing a new twist, perhaps Drew shares a fragmented memory from his shooting, hinting at a shadowy figure with ties to the Corinthos clan, which could bond him and Willow in a reluctant alliance against common foes. The drama spills into everyday haunts like Bobby's Diner, where an unlikely détente brews between Nina Reeves and Carly Spencer, longtime adversaries whose paths keep crossing amid Port Charles' whirlwind. In a surprising turn from the October 13th spoilers, Nina, the poised editor of Crimson magazine, offers a rare nod of approval to Carly, declaring her actions a step forward in the right direction with a tone that mixes grudging respect and lingering wariness. What prompts this olive branch? Carly might have extended an unexpected gesture, like sharing intel on a mutual business threat or intervening in a crisis involving their shared daughter, Jocelyn, demonstrating growth beyond their petty rivalries. This encounter, amid the diner's familiar chatter and aroma of fresh coffee, symbolizes a fragile evolution in their dynamic. Nina's approval and blind endorsement, but a tactical acknowledgement that unity serves them better against external pressures, such as media scandals or family upheavals. Delving into analysis, this moment underscores the soap's exploration of female empowerment through conflict resolution, where past grievances like custody battles or corporate sabotage give way to pragmatic alliances, enriching the narrative with nuanced character development and hinting at collaborative storylines ahead. At the opulent Quartermaine mansion, Detective Harrison Chase unburdens his frustrations to his wife, Brooklyn Quartermaine Chase, in a raw display of vulnerability that peels back his professional armor. Chase's agitation, evident in the preview's tense body language, likely stems from the mounting pressure of Drew Kane's investigation, where Willow's emergence, the potential prime suspect, complicates loyalties and evidence trails. As a dedicated officer torn between duty and personal ties, especially with Brooklyn's deep Quartermaine roots, Chase might reveal tantalizing leads, like conflicting witness statements or forensic anomalies pointing to insider sabotage, fueling his upset over bureaucratic hurdles or ethical dilemmas. Brooklyn, ever the supportive yet opinionated partner, listens intently, her own history of scandals making her uniquely empathetic, perhaps offering insights from her entertainment world connections that could crack the case wide open. This private venting session, in the mansion's grand library lined with leather-bound tomes, illustrates the spillover of professional woes into marital harmony, analyzing how Chase's quest for justice challenges his identity and relationship, while inventing a new element, a leaked tip about Willow's alibi involving a mysterious burner phone, which Brooklyn urges him to pursue discreetly to avoid further family fallout. Wrapping up the week's intrigue, Nathan West's enigmatic conversation in Anna Devane's office adds a cloak of mystery to his enigmatic presence in Port Charles. In the October 13th episode snippet, Nathan, positioned amid stacks of case files and strategic maps, confides to an unseen listener that there's one more thing he requires, his expression a blend of determination and secrecy. This could be a pivotal request, perhaps classified documents on international threats or a specialized gadget to aid in surveillance, hinting at Nathan's undisclosed mission that intertwines with local perils like the Kane shooting. Viewers remain divided on his true intentions. Is he a steadfast ally to Anna's spy network, or a wild card with personal stakes, like a vendetta against a long-lost foe resurfacing in town? Next, we will learn about the explosive mystery surrounding Monica Quartermaine's will and the shocking alterations that have left the Quartermaine dynasty in turmoil. In the aftermath of Monica's passing, the reading of her last will and testament unfolded like a scene straight out of a high-stakes thriller, revealing twists that no one saw coming and igniting fierce debates among fans about who could have tampered with such a sacred document. The core of this scandal centers on an inexplicable change. Monica's cherished family home, a sprawling estate filled with decades of Quartermaine history, memories of lavish gatherings, and hidden secrets in its very walls, was bequeathed not to a blood relative, but to her newly revealed sister, Veronica Ronnie Bard, a figure whose sudden entrance into Port Charles has already stirred up waves of intrigue. This decision flies in the face of everything fans know about Monica's fierce loyalty to her immediate family, her unyielding protection of Quartermaine assets, and her history of prioritizing legacy over outsiders, making the alteration seem not just improbable, but outright impossible without foul play. The Quartermaine family gathering for the will reading was a powder keg waiting to explode, with tension thick in the air as lawyers droned on about bequests and codicils. Tracy Quartermaine, ever the sharp-tongued matriarch with her signature designer suits and piercing glares, was the first to voice outrage, slamming her hand on the table and demanding immediate investigations into what she called a blatant forgery designed to dismantle our empire from the inside. Her suspicions zeroed in on external influences, particularly those with grudges deep enough to orchestrate such a betrayal, while other family members like Ned, with his measured corporate demeanor, exchanged worried glances, whispering about potential lawsuits and the ripple effects on elk stock prices. Even the usually stoic Michael, who arrived with Willow by his side, couldn't hide his disbelief, fueling online forums where fans dissected every micro-expression from the episode, theorizing about hidden alliances and long-buried resentments that might have led to this sabotage. The shock rippled outward, with Port Charles residents buzzing about how this could unravel alliances at the hospital and beyond, turning a private family matter into town-wide gossip. Among the prime suspects lurking in the shadows is Drew Kane, the rugged pilot-turned-businessman whose complicated ties to the Quartermaines have always been a source of drama. Drew's history with Monica runs deep, marked by moments of profound closeness during his amnesia days and collaborative ventures at ELQ. But recent rifts have painted him as a man capable of ruthless moves to reclaim his place. Imagine Drew, pacing in his modest apartment overlooking the harbor, stewing over exclusions from family decisions and feeling sidelined by Jason's return. Could he have hired a discreet forger, perhaps a shady attorney from his military contacts, to tweak the will in a way that indirectly benefits him by weakening Tracy's grip on the estate? Yet, Drew's character arc suggests he's more of a direct confronter than a behind-the-scenes manipulator. His hands-on approach in past crises, like the Casadini Island showdowns, points to him avoiding such dirty work, though he might whisper suggestions to a loyal ally like Curtis, adding layers of plausibility to his involvement. Fans have speculated wildly about this angle, drawing parallels to Drew's ethical dilemmas in earlier plots, but the evidence remains circumstantial, hinging on his access to Monica during her final illness, when she confided in him about estate planning over late-night chess games. Shifting focus to a more devious contender, Martin Gray emerges as the Fautrana in this web of deception, his silver-tongued lawyer persona hiding a vendetta that's been simmering for years. Martin, with his impeccable suits and sly smiles, has clashed spectacularly with Tracy Quartermaine ever since she allied with one of his ex-wives in a bitter divorce battle that cost him a fortune in alimony and public humiliation. Picture the backstory. Years ago, during a high-profile case in Manhattan, Tracy swooped in as a witness for Martin's former spouse, testifying about his manipulative tactics in boardroom deals and personal affairs, which not only tanked his reputation, but also led to him losing custody battles over shared assets, a grudge that Martin has nursed like a fine scotch, waiting for the perfect moment to retaliate. In Port Charles, this feud escalated when Martin returned to handle Drew's legal woes, crossing paths with Tracy at galas and hospital fundraisers, where barbed exchanges hinted at unfinished business. He even once quipped about settling old scores with interest during a tense ELQ meeting. Martin's expertise in estate law makes him the ideal culprit, capable of slipping into Monica's documents unnoticed, perhaps during a routine consultation, altering clauses with digital precision to give the house to Veronica, a twisted jab at Tracy's control over family properties. A pivotal clue tying Martin to the crime is his discovery of a cryptic letter at Drew's house, a document that has flown under the radar amid the chaos but screams ulterior motives upon closer inspection. This envelope, postmarked from Longview with elegant cursive script, arrived unexpectedly and was penned by none other than Veronica Bard herself, detailing a long-lost sibling connection forged through medical research in the 80s. Monica and Ronnie had corresponded secretly about experimental treatments for heart conditions, bonding over their parallel lives as driven women in male-dominated fields. Martin stumbled upon it in July, right as rumors swirled about Linda Slezik's casting as Ronnie, his eyes lighting up not at any mention of Drew's paternity woes, as initially thought, but at the intimate revelations between the two women, including hints of joint investments that could explain the house bequest. He pocketed the letter discreetly, perhaps photographing it for leverage, and used its contents to fabricate authenticity in the will changes, inventing codicils about sisterly obligations that Monica would never have endorsed. Fans overlooked this because early buzz focused on Martin's ex-wife drama, but rewatching the scenes shows his subtle probing questions to Drew about Monica's Longview ties, planting seeds of manipulation that align perfectly with the timeline of the will's final draft. Compounding the mystery is Martin's intimate knowledge of Drew Kane's omission from the will, a detail that underscores his meddling without leaving fingerprints. Monica's prolonged illness, marked by grueling chemotherapy sessions and bedside vigils from family, gave ample opportunity for alterations. And while Drew's exclusion stings given their father-son-like bond from his early days in Port Charles, it aligns with her recent fury over his insistence on the Quartermaine name amid identity scandals. Recall the heated confrontation where Monica, frail but fierce in her hospital gown, demanded he forge his own path, citing his Metro Court ventures as proof he no longer needed the family shield. This rift, born from betrayals involving the nurses' ball scandals, made his snub believable on the surface. Yet Martin's part-time role in Drew's legal team positioned him to overhear these arguments, allowing him to amplify the exclusion by ensuring no last-minute inclusions for Drew, perhaps to isolate him further and drive a wedge in Quartermaine unity. Adding invented depth, Martin might have even drafted a fake amendment during a solo visit to Monica's study, using her illness-weakened signature from old documents to seal the deed. Ultimately, the breadcrumbs, from Martin's outreach to Veronica, initiating her Port Charles arrival with promises of inheritance revelations, to his history of sabotaging rivals in courtrooms across the country, all converge on him as the mastermind behind the will's transformation. This vendetta against Tracy isn't just personal. It's a calculated strike at the heart of Quartermaine power, potentially unlocking doors to more explosive confrontations, like Tracy hiring a private investigator to unearth Martin's digital trail or Drew piecing together the letter's true impact. As the storyline unfolds, expect courtroom dramas, tearful family reconciliations, and perhaps Ronnie's own secrets bubbling up, keeping viewers glued to every twist in this inheritance intrigue. Stay tuned for more spoilers as Port Charles unravels this betrayal, proving once again that in General Hospital, blood ties are no match for forged ambitions.